Yo, what's up, guys? We got some NBA games tonight. We also have a lot of NHL. So, without further ado, let's find some bets. We got some good games too. Bucks, Celtics. You can see the Bucks are slightly favored. But anyways, let's get into some player props. So, I always say this in every video, but I mean, there's so many sports books, FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings, Bet Rivers, all this crap. And there's usually pretty good bets on all these sports books, but in these live streams, I try to focus on the main books that are legal in the most states, Fliff, PrizePicks, stuff like that. So if you didn't tail me earlier and you still want to, I actually gave out this play on Twitter. Nurkic over 9.5 rebounds at -115. This play looks rock solid. So you can see the market has taken him to being a pretty heavy favorite to go over. Pinnacle right here, which is known to be a really sharp, smart sports book, they have his over all the way up at -150. All these books have his over heavily favored. Fliff is the only book with his under juiced. They have more juice towards his under. They have the under favored. Every other book is telling you, yo, he's more likely to go over. The over is heavily favored. So this is a really good play to go with. And it's still available if you want to tail it. So again, these NBA lines are always moving around, just like the price of a stock is moving around due to economic news. Oh, the company had a good earnings report. It's the same thing in sports betting. All these players, injuries, lineups, who's playing, who's not playing, who's starting, all that stuff moves around the market, which is why good bets occur. All these books try to set their own odds. And, they can't really manage their lines perfectly. As you can see, Fliff right here is stale. All the books, including Pinnacle, have ripped the over to being a heavy favorite. Fliff has this at -115. But anyways, we don't have a ton of time, so let's try to lock in some plays. Ooh, baby. So we got some PrizePicks showing up. If you were on the live stream yesterday, we hit our PrizePicks play, so I'm pretty happy about that. But let's kind of hopefully zone in on some picks for today. So the only thing about PrizePicks is they bump things fast. So I try to move quickly. So you can see the first play, like look at these guys. They had his line at 13, and I was trying to bet the under 13. All these other books have his line at 11.5, 12.5. They already ripped it down to 13.5. So it's a little frustrating on PrizePicks sometimes just because, you can see now the play's gone. The value went away. So as these lines move around, we're kind of in a race against the sports book, trying to get the best plays down. So where should we start? And I always recommend, use as many sports books as possible. All these books have, deposit bonuses. You get $100 for free when you sign up. So there's really no reason, to not have multiple sports books. But anyways, where do we want to start? So we got some options, and you can see it looks like they just bumped that other play we were looking at. But anyways, the first play that's available is Josh Giddey under 4.5 assists. So you can see right here, like what makes PrizePicks a really interesting sports book compared to Fliff is there's no odds on PrizePicks, right? On Fliff, there's a bunch of numbers, a bunch of odds. Whereas on PrizePicks, there's no numbers, there's no odds. The way that PrizePicks works is you always get the same payout. So what I mean by that is like, if you take Jason Tatum's over or under, you get the same payout. Any 2-pick parlay, any 2-pick entry is 20 to win 60, a 3x payout, right? Over or under, like it doesn't matter. Any 2 picks you select, you're going to be getting a 3x payout. So the reason we want to go with Giddey's under is look at the books, right? Every book. Everything is baked into the market. So many people like to be like, oh, what happened over, the last 5 games? But that's not really that useful. Everything is encompassed in the odds that books are putting out, right, into the market. So you want to compare PrizePicks lines to books. All the books have Giddey heavily favored to go under. So we want to take his under. That seems like a great play to go with. But anyways, we need some more picks. Ideally we got 1, but ideally you want to go with 5 pick entries on PrizePicks because it does matter the slip type you go with. And a simple example, and PrizePicks has all sorts of lines. Sometimes there's good value in esports, other times it's NBA. But PrizePicks for their 3-leg parlays, they only give you a 5x payout. So 20 to win 100, 5x payout. Whereas on Underdog, if you create a nice little 3-pick parlay, they're giving you a 6x payout. So this type of stuff really matters long-term in terms of your ROI. You never want to play a 3-pick parlay on PrizePicks because they're giving you shit payouts, right? They're giving you horrible payouts. But anyways, let's try to find some bets. So where do we want to go to next? So we have some college basketball. I know not that many people. I think most people can bet on college basketball. It's not legal, or it's not available, I think, in every state. But regardless, I'm sure we'll find more plays. But I'm going to lock in a college basketball play first. If that's where the value is, that's what we'll be betting on. Out of the tens of thousands of lines on PrizePicks, we're trying to zone in on okay, where are those few rare betting opportunities that actually have an edge? So the second play we want to go with is Michael Jones, under 10.5 points, Stanford guard, 23 points in the last game, but then he had 7-0-2. I mean, again, all this stuff, every game's different, is encompassed into the market. So ideally, we could find some plays that weren't college basketball as well, because I know not everyone can bet on it, but whatever. Looks like we may not be able to. So we have Brooks over 28.5. So we can take a look at this. And then we can also just kind of see what's available. So we can put in FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars. You can also filter for today. I mean, I'm a big fan of if there's early value for the NFL. I don't have any problem placing NFL plays. Here's a really good play on DraftKings, right? NHL, mainline market, super active, super liquid, Flames, Coyotes. DraftKings has the under 6 at plus 120, right? Every other book. All of these books have sophisticated models. They're taking bets, moving around lines based on where action's coming in. Circa, Bookmaker, Pinnacle, Bet Online, the Sharp sports books. They all have this line around plus 100, plus 104. So plus 120 on DraftKings. I bet this won't last too long. A lot of value on that. But anyways, let's go back here to PrizePicks and see if we can hopefully lock something in. So it does look like they put this back up. So here we have, ideally we can not play college basketball because not everyone can play it. But if we go here, we want him over 5.5 rebounds versus OKC. So we can reload this as well. And we can see. So we have a, really good DraftKings bet under 6 at plus 120, but maybe we can find something a little better. There's also some plays on Underdog. Here we go. We have Hardaway under 4.5 rebounds. So I don't love including an over and then an under. This game has blowout potential. So if he goes over, Giddey's more likely to go over. So the only thing you want to be careful of on PrizePicks is, when you're including picks in the same game, you want to make sure they're just not negatively correlated. But anyways, what we can do is we can go back here and maybe we can, a lot of bets on FanDuel, but, FanDuel is not legal in as many states as Fliff, as PrizePicks, so we'll filter it out for now. But there are a lot of good bets on FanDuel. Here we got a Fliff play, Julius Randle over 4.5 assists. But anyways, here we go with Hardaway. It's the same strategy. All the books have us under heavily favored, and they already bumped up this play. So I guess we're going to go back to Giddey. So again, that's the hard thing about PrizePicks is you do want to try to move as quickly as possible to get these plays down just because they will bump them quickly. So we want to go to him under 4.5 rebounds. So we have Giddey under 4.5 assists. All the books have the under favorite, right? And again, you can see, why is this bet showing up now? Maybe it's lineup driven, who knows? But you can see the market has him heavily favored to go under. So this seems like a great play to go with. It's not just one sports book. You have dozens of books, hundreds of books post NBA player prop lines. They all have him heavily favored to go under. Oh my God. So what is happening in the Trailblazers game? Did some news just come out? Here, the Blazers official starting lineup, as well as the Thunder. So a lot of times these starting lineups are what move around the market. So you can see, did FanDuel rip him up to a 15.5 line? So we want to go here. So let's go back here, and we want to take him over, you can see, over 12.5 points plus rebounds. This play looks incredible. And then what we can do is, So we also have a player steals play. So you can see a lot of bets coming up in the Blazers game now with them releasing lineups. This play's incredible. But anyways, let's try to move somewhat quickly. So I'll take Jones's under. And let's get rid of this play on Giddy. So let's go here and let's take Jones's under. College basketball play. And then what we want to do is, maybe we can stack some positively correlated NFL plays. So oftentimes, like what PrizePicks, they won't add payout shifts. Typically, if you take like a QB and a wide receiver to go over. So what we can do is we can go here, ideally find a little bit of NFL value before they bump up the lines. So I'm not sure where is PrizePicks here. But anyways, where do they have a little bit of value? Joe Flacco, they have his line at 272.5. Most other books have it around 268, so that's not a great play to include. But maybe like Stroud and Collins or something like that. So Stroud's line, 242.5. I mean, you can see like PrizePicks in general, they have a lot of these lines overinflated. They didn't earlier in the week, there was more value. And you can see they just removed the other play. So we missed that one, but we still have 10 minutes. So hopefully we can find something. So PrizePicks is just tough but this play looks great. So we have some value on Underdog still, and hopefully we can get this down. So why don't we go here and let's go to Underdog. So on Underdog, again, it's nice because, the optimal slip type is 3-pick entries. So you only need 3 picks. Sometimes on PrizePicks, it's just kind of hard to build a 5-pick entry. So what we can do is we can take Kincaid's over, Pacheco's under. So we want his over. So this will be the second pick we go with. And then we could take Pacheco's under or Giannis's under. I mean, they're roughly the same. And again, the strategy for Underdog Fantasy is the same. The only difference, so let's go quickly and let's lock this in. And you can see they're fucking giving me a max of $20 for this play, which is BS. But when you beat the sports books, they'll try to lower your bet sizes. But again, like it looks like Underdog Fantasy, all the books have Giannis heavily favored to go under to not make a 3. You can see the market has ripped him lower. So that's a good play to go with on Underdog Fantasy. So I guess this will be the first play we lock in. And then for Kincaid, for Dalton, all the books have his over heavily favored. Again, Underdog, any 3-leg parlay, you get a 6x payout, right? And we can see like a lot of stuff has been moving around in the Blazers game. So over 6.5 points, Bovada moved his line up to 8.5. So this seems like a great play. I mean, we'll see. Oftentimes, like you'll see when you refresh it, they'll end up bumping up the player to 7 or 7.5. But anyways, so we got one play down. I mean, not as good as the play on PrizePicks if we would have been able to get it down, but whatever. So let's go back here to PrizePicks, and I'm sure we will be able to make a slip. We missed some of the really good ones on the lineup news, but, let's see. So we have Hardaway and Giddey under. Okay. So we want that. And what we can do is we can go here. And ideally, we can just make an NBA play. But we may have to add in some NFL plays as well. So let's go here to this play on Michael Jones. College basketball play. And again, on PrizePicks, just stay away from these 3-leg parlays. They're only giving you a 5x payout. Again, on Underdog, you're getting a 6x payout. It does really, it adds up long term. So what we can do next is we can just try to see like, okay, where is PrizePicks? And my computer's about to die, which is not good. So let's go here and let's kind of load this up. So one play I do like, I mean, we'll see where PrizePicks has Mahomes' line. So if we go over to passing yards, I actually gave it out in a slip on Twitter, I do like Mahomes' over, right? So we have his over. And then what I did in the previous slip is I just stacked in Kelsey. So you can see here, okay. And we got some plays, So some good starts to, from yesterday, but then here's a play. I'm not sure why they only let me bet $20 for the NFL max bet size, but then they give me $100 for the NBA and NHL. But anyways, what we can do is we can go here and we can go to receiving yards and maybe stack in Kelsey or Rice. Kelsey's obviously had, a few rough games, kind of crappy end to the regular season, but what makes PrizePicks really unique is they don't price in correlation. I mean, it makes PrizePicks super exploitable, right? So again, like you take Kelsey to go over and Mahomes to go over, you get the same payout as if you take Mahomes over and Kelsey under. Obviously, it would make no sense to take Mahomes over and Kelsey under when you're getting the same payout. These plays are positively correlated. So what we can do is just lock in this PrizePicks slip. NFL, NBA, and college basketball. And you can kind of see correlation on the sports book. So if you just go to as a simple example, if you just go to an NFL game, like the Dolphins-Chiefs game, this is why PrizePicks is so exploitable for correlation, especially in football, right? If you take Mahomes over and then you take Kelsey's over, your parlay only comes out to plus 172. But if you take Kelsey's under, it's the same odds. So you'd think, oh, the parlay is going to be the same odds. No, now your parlay goes up to plus 309, right? So you take both overs plus 172. You take over under plus 309. So FanDuel is giving you a much worse payout when you take both overs together because these plays are positively correlated. If Mahomes balls out and throws for 350 yards in negative 30-degree weather, then Kelsey most likely went over. But PrizePicks, again, they don't price in correlation, which is crazy. You take Kelsey's over or under, you're getting the same payout, whereas FanDuel is telling you through their odds, hey, these plays are positively correlated, and you can see that because they drastically reduce your payout, right? These plays are positively correlated. But anyways, so we can go back to Underdog. I mean, we can go to ParlayPlay too. There's a bunch of sports books. I try to focus on, again, kind of the main ones, the most popular ones. So like here's a play, right? We were looking at this on PrizePicks, but they ended up bumping it. Perez. So whoops, we want to go to college basketball. Did they just remove him? Jose Perez, but like look at this play on ParlayPlay. And they also have a discount. So I'm going to move quickly. And they bumped him down to 11.5. Jose Perez. So I don't know what happened in this game, but his line moved from like 14 earlier in the day to now it's down at, 11.5. But anyways, ParlayPlay has a discount, kind of Taco Tuesday or whatever you want to call it. So what we can do is, we can find some place on ParlayPlay. You never know which book is going to fuck up their lines on a given day. So ideally you're using as many of these books as possible. So you look at Kevin Durant. Whoa, this line's on Underdog too. So let's go to Underdog. You can see here, Underdog has his line at 28. Same thing with ParlayPlay. All these sports books have Durant's line at like 26.5, 27.5 with the under favor. Dabble, another fantasy site, at 27. So again, like as a sports bettor, we're kind of like processing all this information, trying to see like, okay, where's their value? So anyways, let's get a discount slip done. I mean, ideally pretty quickly. So, ParlayPlay, they don't have Durant's line at 28. They have his line at 28.5, which is even better. All these books have his line at 26.5 or 27.5. FanDuel has his line at 27.5 with the under favored. So again, like FanDuel's a multi-billion-dollar company. They're taking a ton of bets. You want to at least put some weight into their odds. I mean, I'm not saying, you can't have your own opinions about what Durant is going to do tonight, but clearly, so what did we want? Over 4.5 assists for Jalen Williams. So that will be our third pick. Josh Allen, under 29.5 passing attempts. So I'm just going to kind of try to fly through because we only have 1 minute left on this ParlayPlay discount, which is a solid book. There's a lot of value on ParlayPlay. So it's not as popular as PrizePicks, but, still. CJ Stroud under 34.5 passing attempts. And you can see they already bumped that down to 33.5, so we missed that. We have Devin Booker under. Doesn't make sense to pair that with Kevin Durant's under, so we're going to skip over that. So we have 38 more seconds to find 2 more picks. We have Dak Prescott's under. Here we go. Let's just lock in some college basketball plays. So here at Bacho over 8.5 rebounds, Louisiana Tech. Again, I don't care personally what I'm betting on. If there's an edge, I'll happily play it. And then here we actually have the play. I'm already on this on Underdog Fantasy, but it looks like ParlayPlay added some hockey lines. Still looks pretty good. I think this promo, usually they're a max of $20, these discounted lines, and I have 6 seconds. So hopefully you were building it along with me. And they moved the play on Jalen Williams. So I'm going to miss this discount anyways, which is not fun, but hey, whatever. It's just a small little discount. So now I got to get rid of this play on Lillard, but hey, we started to build a slip. So, well, actually, I'm trying to remember what game was starting at 4:30. Anyways, we missed that. So sorry for that. If you wanted to play the parlay play discount, hopefully you got it somewhere else, but I am still going to finish this slip because why not? We have a good start. So ideally we can finish it off. So we have Brooks over 28.5 PRAs. And again, they give you parlay play. They actually give you the exact same payout. And this play on Durant's really good too. It's kind of like a discount in and of itself. So over 28.5 PRAs. And what's the final pick we want to go with? Grayson Allen over 3.5 rebounds. We're already on Brooks over in PRA, so we can't include his over in points. What do we want to go with? Dak under 35.5 passing attempts. So that seems fine as well. So again, I'm never going to force a bet, but when there's value on parlay play, I'll place bets on parlay play. All these fantasy sites, they have pretty low max betting limits. Fliff's 250. That's the max you can do. And again, Fliff coins is bullshit. It's not anything. You want to be using, Fliff cash. So you don't want to be using this yellow stuff. These coins, I don't have $44 million in my Fliff account. You want to be using, the green Fliff cash. But anyways, here's our play on parlay play. So obviously one of the games starting, so we're going to have some bets go away. But maybe if we're lucky, we can quickly, before we all start watching the game, we can try to see if there's any other bets. Not a ton of NBA tonight, but, that's just kind of how it is sometimes. There was a game at 11. There was a game at 11 a.m. this morning. Woke up, and I didn't even have time to find bets for that game. But anyways. So, here's a play on Underdog. Obviously, he's been super hot recently. The Knicks in general have just been really hot. But if you take a look at Hartenstein, Underdog has his line at 14, right? Every other book, all these books, treat them as data points. All these books are taking bets, moving around lines based on where sharp action's coming in. I don't think most people understand that. These books aren't fucking stupid. They see lineup news. They know weather changes. They're taking bets. They're moving lines around based on where profitable customers are betting. If all of FanDuel's sharp or smart customers, if they all start hammering some bet like Nurkic to go over 9.5 rebounds, what do you think Caesars is going to do, or FanDuel or whoever, if all their profitable customers, sharp customers, all the people making money off them are betting is over, they move odds towards the over. It's a market, right? Just like the price of a stock changes due to supply and demand. It's kind of the same thing in sports betting. But anyways, let's go back here. And we can see, so there's an early value UFC play, but I gave that out on Twitter. So, why give out the same pick again? So here's this play. If we wanted to double down on Michael Jones's under, we could take it. So we can go here. Michael Jones under 10.5 points. We already have it on PrizePicks, or I already have it. I don't know if you tailed, but what we can do is we can go to Trying to move quickly. Hartenstein. So here we go. We want under 14 rebounds and assists. It's kind of like being able to sell a stock at $14 when it's trading in the market at $13.50. Like, you don't have to know anything about, you don't have to know anything about Facebook. If I told you you could sell it or buy it at $300, you should buy it, because the market is based on, supply and demand of a lot of really smart people, right? There's millions of investors who wake up every single day, and all their job is to think about if companies are overvalued or undervalued. And that's the price where supply and demand meet. That's the fair price. So if you could buy it at a 60-yard disc or a $60 discount to the market, that would be a no-brainer. But anyways, what we can do is we can just lock in this play very briefly. One more underdog play. So we got NBA, college basketball, this play already on PrizePicks, and then there's some early NFL value. I mean, we might as well lock it in. Obviously, in the Chiefs game, a lot of these lines are moving, I assume, just due to the weather. I mean, it's like every second it seems like the weather's getting worse. I mean, I think it's supposed to be negative 30 degrees with wind chill. Negative 30 degrees with wind chill. So we got, a really good NBA play down. PrizePicks is pretty dry. ParlayPlay, we already locked in a slip. We can check Dabble. This is another new fantasy site. What's nice about Dabble is they have very high betting limits. I've been able to bet things for like $2,000 on Dabble, whereas, PrizePicks, Underdog have, unfortunately cut down my max betting limits, which sucks, but just kind of how it is. Whoa, first quarter total points. But anyways, Dabble, unfortunately, it's not like ParlayPlay and PrizePicks. They don't have a website, you can bet through, or an app that I can get on my Mac. So, I can't really show, like, we can't place bets together. I'll give some out on Twitter, I'm sure, though, later today. But anyways, we'll call it a day for now. Got a lot of good bets down. Gave some out on Twitter as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this live stream. Feel free to DM, email me any questions. My email's in the description. And thanks so much.